Interrogation scenes are all about obtaining information.
You're sheltering enemies of the state, are you not?
One side wants it, and the other side is reluctant to give it.
You give me my phone call.
In our last video on interrogations, we looked at how power dynamics can play a role in gripping interrogation scenes. This time, we'll look at 3 types of mind games screenwriters can use to create an unpredictable and dynamic interrogation.
I'll never talk.
Is that right?
This is Page to Picture, Interrogation Scenes, Part 2.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Break down, baby.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel to stay up to date on all our filmmaking videos, and don't forget to click the bell. Now, let the games begin.
Do you mind if we record this?
The good cop, bad cop routine is a hallmark of interrogation scenes.
We're gonna do good cop, bad cop.
I won't be able to tell it to you.
It's the oldest game in the book for a reason. It works.
The concept is simple. One cop is cruel and aggressive,
It's just you and me, and I'm gonna rip you apart.
making the suspect more willing to open up to the more mild-mannered partner.
Okay, well, I'll talk to you. You're reasonable.
No.
It has become so common that it's often used as a joke.
What are you doing?
LA Confidential provides a classic example which utilizes 3 elements that are present in most good cop, bad cop scenes.
Are you sure Golden Boy is up to the task, Cap?
Oh, I think you'd be surprised what the lad is capable of.
First, there's blocking. The good cop is seated and calm, placing himself at the same level as the suspect,
Did one of the officers work you over a little?
while the bad cop broods on the background. Then there's the division of dialogue. Usually, the good cop takes the lead.
Come on. Give me one to feed the DA. It'll make me look good. And I'll say Sugar Ray's not a punk like his sissy partners.
But before long, the bad cop boils over and dominates the scene. And most importantly, while both cops have different methods, they both have a common goal.
Where's the girl Fontaine's talking about? Did you kill her? 1 and 6! Where's the girl? White, I have this under control. Put the weapon down! Here's the girl!
While these methods are found in most examples, there are ways to subvert these rules. In The Big Lebowski, after the dude's car is stolen, their only evidence is some homework leading them to young Larry Sellers. For this interrogation, the Coen Brothers undermine each element of a typical good cop, bad cop scene for pure comedy.
We came to talk about little Larry. May we come in?
Larry, sweetie, that man is here.
First, there is no dynamic blocking to keep the suspect guessing. Walter and the dude both stay seated for most of the interrogation, making it unclear who exactly is supposed to be the good cop and who is supposed to be the bad.
Is this your homework, Larry? Is this your homework, Larry?
Look, man.
Do, please.
This spills over to the division of dialogue. Instead of a coordinated and strategic verbal negotiation, the dude and Walter simply shout over each other.
Is this your homework, Larry?
We know it's his homework. Where's the money, you little brat?
And finally, there is no common goal. The dude asks about the car, while Walter pushes him about the homework.
Is this your homework, Larry?
Ask him about the car, man.
Is this yours, Larry? Is this your homework, Larry?
Is that your car out front?
Time for Plan B.
By bucking the common tropes of this type of interrogation scene, the Coen Brothers effectively satirize the technique. Instead of good cop, bad cop, we get 2 incapable and unprepared civilians who have seen too many movies.
What are you doing?
It's no surprise then when they eventually resort to the threat of physical violence.
You see what happens, Larry? You see what happens? I just bought that car last week!
Which leads us to our next technique. Often, interrogators will use threats and ultimatums to get their detainees to speak. But sometimes threatening them personally has little effect.
You really aren't going to tell me,
In these cases, an external threat might be necessary. A threat that targets a valuable object or person in the suspect's life.
Give me the password.
and I would at least let her live.
The most effective targets, therefore, should be anything the detainee cares about most. Perhaps it's their only weakness.
Leave her alone!
This scene in Avengers: Infinity War utilizes key elements of an external threat interrogation. For example, the stakes are clear from the outset.
The Tesseract, or your brother's head. I assume you have a preference.
The interrogator previews the pain to come in order to make the threat more real. And the scene makes heavy use of reaction shots from the prisoner, usually in progressively tighter frames like close-ups to emphasize their inner turmoil.
All right, stop!
For an intense application of this tactic, let's look at Mission Impossible 3, written by J.J. Abrams, Alex Kurtzman, and Roberta Orsi. This scene heightens each of these three elements in order to create an adrenaline-fueled interrogation scene.
You put an explosive charge in your head.
The scene begins in medias res as Owen Davian questions Ethan Hunt about the location of the rabbit's foot.
You're gonna tell me where the rabbit's foot is, or she dies.
The stakes are raised even higher by revealing Julia, who obviously means a lot to him.
Rabbit's foot's in Paris. You want to know where in Paris? Then let her go, because you will
It's
never.
not in Paris.
Davian's preview of the threat is equally heightened.
The only way you're gonna get what you want is for you to.
And reaction shots capture Ethan's anger and desperation in tight handheld close-ups.
No. No. No.
10.
By using an external threat, writers can establish extremely high stakes and reveal what a character cares about most.
Don't you touch her! Don't you touch her!
Sometimes the external threat may not even be real. It may all just be an elaborate fabrication.
Ethan, Julia is still alive.
Which leads us to our next topic. A third way interrogators would try to get information from their subjects is through deception. Lying in order to make the subject believe that circumstances are different than they actually are.
She saved Fran's life.
This deception ranges from a simple lie to a complex ruse.
Fran's alive? Oh, yes. Fran will confirm this fairy story and send you, Hugh, to jail.
Steven Spielberg's Ready Player One hits every beat of the classic deception interrogation scene.
You're gonna tell me exactly which rig she's in?
Yeah, that seems appropriate.
The first crucial element in these scenes is the reveal. When the truth is made known to the audience and the suspect, which can be separate or simultaneous revelations.
I think he pissed himself.
So he really doesn't know he's in the Oasis.
And then there's the explanation. How did our characters pull this off?
We grabbed him in transit just as he was logging out of the Oasis. So he thinks he's back at his office in the real world, but actually, he's here in the identical office that H built.
This isn't real. You're tapping my feet.
Uh-oh.
Without these answers, deception can feel cheap and contrived. The Usual Suspects uses these key elements of deception, but with a twist. Instead of the interrogators using this tactic, it is the suspect.
I used to be in a barbershop quartet in Skokie, Illinois. The baritone was this guy named Kip Diskin. Big fat guy, I mean like orca fat. He was so stressed in the morning, you know.
Verbal, you know we're trying to help you.
Most of the film is framed around a single interrogation scene between Agent Kuyon and Verbal Kint. This is where deception begins, but we don't know that yet.
Verbal, you're not telling us everything. I know you know something.
I told the DA everything I know.
You don't think I know you held out on the DA? What did you leave out of that testimony?
Verbal's confession lasts almost the entire runtime.
People say I talk too much.
Yeah, I was just going to tell you to shut up.
And we only become aware of the deception at the very end, along with Agent Coen. This long build-up makes the reveal all the more dramatic. Writer Christopher McQuarrie has the deception explained visually, using slow motion to portray the gravity of Coen's realization. Using bits of audio to replay key moments, the audience puts the pieces together alongside the detective.
Tell me every last
back when I was in that barbershop quartet in Skokie, Illinois?
Where's your head, Agent Coen?
What we need to do is think. Think back.
Verbal's entire confession was really just an elaborate red herring, crafted using details found on the bulletin board.
It's all there. And I'm telling it straight, I swear.
Some guy in California, his name is Redfoot.
A gift from Mr. Sauzet.
The Usual Suspects shows us just how iconic a well-executed deception can be. With patience and attention to detail, it can create one of the most memorable twists in cinema history.
And like that, he's gone.
Interrogation scenes are fertile ground for inventive storytelling.
What did you say?
The psychological warfare on both sides can be just as exciting,
Hello, Blofeld.
surprising,
Hi, buddy.
and even hilarious.
We need you to come in.
I'm in the middle of an interrogation. This moron is giving me everything.
Write your next interrogation scene using Studio Binder's free screenwriting software. And for more tips on how to shoot it, be sure to check out Part 1. What other important elements are there in interrogation scenes?
I don't know.
Let us know in the comments.
Can you speak?
For now, we've told you everything we know.
When's your birthday? Out!
See you next time.
You see what happens, Larry? You see what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps? That's what happens. You see what happens, Larry? You see what happens, Larry? That's what happens when you feed a scrambled eggs. What happens, Larry?